Alright, it's time for a Evelynn game. Today I will show you how to properly play this champion in order to win your games. How to be successful on her. I'll explain everything as much detail as I can. Explain what to think about, what to look for, how to approach this champion. This will be ELO this game specifically. If you want to see the same thing done against higher rated players, just check out any of the other Evelynn videos on the channel, honestly. Yeah, she is my best / favorite champion, so you know, there's that. Gonna place the ward there, have some vision coverage, and we're just gonna go start on the red buff in this instance. What is their comp? Is that orange support? Whatever. I think Riot fixed the, or at least they fixed this, you know. It's no longer a mess, which is nice. Alright, so I'm against the Nunu here, Dark Harvest. It's gonna be, like, I mean, it's pretty standard. It's probably gonna be some kind of AWP Nunu. They do have quite a lot of targeted CC, which is a little worrying. I also see that I will not be getting a leash here, unfortunately, but that's fine. You don't really need a leash. It just makes your life a little bit nicer because you just clear that good amount faster, you know. You can also start Raptors if you'd like, but I'm just gonna go for like a nice standard clear here. Make sure here as Eve that you do not forget to auto-attack your camp. Actually, that pet hit killed. Okay. Auto-attacking your camp is extremely important. And then this small one, you can kind of kite a little bit around the big proc if you do it well. You can lose a little bit of damage that way. A little bit of damage taken that way. Right, auto-attack the small one, the big one will die to the pet, and then we just Q this down. Good. Our goal here is to just go for a full clear. That was a pretty quick death. Okay, top lane is shoving in. Make sure to keep auto-attacking, never forget. Don't just spam your Q, that's definitely a mistake. Another point in Q here. Gonna go for the clear speed. If you're like worried about an invade or something, I'd recommend taking the point in W, because that actually helps you quite a bit in those situations. But not really worried about an invade from a Nunu, so we're just gonna go double point Q for the clear speed. Take the Gromp before anything here, before the blue, because you want this camp to respawn in line with your wolves on your next rotation. This will give you better setup, better XP tempo, basically. Otherwise, you're gonna have to, on the next clear, wait 20 seconds, basically, before the Gromp spawns, which is definitely not ideal, right? So, yeah. Did I just click through the blue buff? Lovely. No Nunu seen just yet. I'm gonna have to danger ping this, because most likely most Nunu players will go for some kind of red down to bot lane strategy and go gank that, you know? Okay. No gank option there. Top lane is shoving back into my top laner, so there might be some options coming up here, which is something I'm looking for. In the meantime, we're just gonna chill. I'm not gonna... Just gonna chill on this. Don't have to smite it, technically. I don't know if I can make this happen. This is probably not going to be a thing. Nah, it's not. I can make him back off and give Set some free farm and just recall. There is no other reason for me to stick around. I'm just going to... Okay, fine. I'll clear this ward. Make her even more scared. And then we're just going to recall now. I mean, Set has like some luxury to farm, I suppose, now. Nunu does get kills on my bot lane, which is not great. Alright, decent back. My next camp rotation is going to spawn here in a second. Obviously, the one back cancel is not great and like delaying my respawn here, but I just need to make sure I catch it as close to the respawn as possible, so the Nunu doesn't counter it. Item build wise, you should always go Dark Seal on your first back, really. It is very, very good. You can go for Sorks. If you have 1100 gold for it, you can just go straight up, go Sorks first back, which is fine. It is like nerfed by 3 flat magic penetration. It is good against champion damage, but it's not as great against like camps, really. It also sets up the snowball a little bit worse, because if you get some Dark Seal stacks into a Magi pretty quickly, that could be very nice as well. But it does provide you with quite a bunch of like fight power against champions. It does also still give you clear speed, don't get me wrong, but yeah. It is an option. Usually, if nothing fancy happens first back, it's just Dark Seal Amptome. And that's really that. If you can afford to go like Dark Seal with Sorks, that'd be pretty nice. I haven't really noticed that much of a difference playing the new Sorks compared to the old ones, the nerfed ones. Like the 3 magic penetration, it's still just a solid first item if you have the option for it. Not too bad. My team is losing quite a bit here, actually. If you run out of gas, like hitting your camp with your skills, you can full charm it there and just wait for your skills to come back. Make sure to press S when you do this so you don't actually accidentally hit it. Seems like Nunu is having a pretty good time at the moment. My ganks are not currently paying out, but that's fine. If you like on Eve, you don't have to stress too much about it. If your early game happens to have nothing, if you don't have a gank opportunity or whatever, that's completely fine. Just need to hit level 6, and that's when your ganking chances start to crank up. Obviously, we see the Nunu bot recently, so we pretty much know his topside camps are going to be up. We're going to dive this guy as well. We know these camps are going to be up, so we're going to go for it. We can also dive the kill here. She does have ult. I believe her ult costs 100 mana. Can you shove the wave, please? I'm going to spot myself so I can hold the wave for a second. And just full charm him. He just recently did dragon, so I'm not too worried about dying to anything here. Just be patient. There we go. Flash E on him, so my E follows, and that's the easiest way to get in range. On my HP there, I do have to be a little bit careful because Pantheon's Q crits on low HP targets. And that could have executed me if I walked in too fast. My passive heals me while I'm invisible, up to a certain threshold based on your AP. And in that instance, I was able to heal back a decent amount to the point where I can make that work. Then we just clear his Crocs again as we walk out. And he's most likely going to go for his red buff, so... I might be able to do the Void Grub here, but this is maybe a bit flippy on my end. This is perhaps a bit risky, you know? I'm assuming he goes Void Grubs here, or he goes red here, basically. That's kind of what I'm banking on when doing this. I have no solo laners in this position either, so I have to be very, very careful. This is a very scary Void Grubs to do, but because I think he's going red, I think it's doable. He is now checking these, and I still have my smite for the last one because I kept it. I'm going to just smite it out now. Perfect. Okay, my thought process paid off for me there. Assuming he'd go for the... oh. Gonna focus the Nunu. You! Oh my god. That's fair enough. He chomped my... He chomped my scuttle for a large amount of HP, and then he healed himself above the threshold so I couldn't get him. That is not great. My team is still going for this fight. It's probably not going to happen, but we have to walk up. He's going to get the pull in, and then I'm going to full charm him at the end. I need to make sure I just get the charm and just hope Set pulls him correctly, and it should be fine. My entire jungle rotation is up right now, so I'm actually just going to clear everything. You have to look at like objective timers right now. Dragon's going to be 2 minutes. We have the Void Grubs in 3 minutes, so I don't really have anything to play for on the map at the moment apart from just ganks and my camps. So I'm just going to go clear my camps while I can right now, basically. Instead of recalling here and like leaving all my camps up for the entire time I have to recall and run out of base again back towards my camps, I'm just going to do them and get a nice line down. I don't think I have to do anything anymore top lane. I think I've already like done pretty much enough for my set to be fine there. And bot lane definitely will need some assistance, so we're going to go for that next. Yeah, as soon as the Nunu comes in there, I just send the charm on him. See if I can get a nice full charm to land. I might actually have to smite. No, I don't. Perfect. See if I can land the full charm to land so I can get the magic resist threat from the full charm and like the extra chunk, right? So that's very good. Trying to like cast my like skills on the next camp to lure him in as I finish off the old ones. Smite that one actually. That one is not going to be something I can save. My Caitlyn has no HP, no mana. Soraka is a bit far out of position. I have a lot of gold, which I have to respect as well. We have 1 minute 40 on Void Grubs. I've got the other 3 Void Grubs, so I just want to play for the Void Grubs at this point. He's most likely going to play for the other dragon, but that should be okay. Back here is looking extremely good. I'm just going to go straight up Lich Bane here. You could go more like risky, flip it a bit harder. and go for you go for Magi's tier 2 boots and some components of Lichbane, which is honestly what I would usually do, but I'd recommend you guys, if you can afford a Lichbane like that, just send the Lichbane. I do recommend everyone that plays Eve to play with Magi's. It is maybe not favorable for you, or you might find it a little bit tricky, but the 10% movement speed from the 10 stack Magi's is way too strong on this champion to not go for it. Essentially, you kind of have to if you want to be very successful on this champ, because movement speed is everything. Like, movement speed means everything. Gonna wait to go invisible before I walk up to this bush in case it's warded. And then we can just go for this. If you're gonna try to look for something, always try to loop in behind as much as possible. Charm and then one-shot him. Perfect. Against Kayle, you want to get the CC on the charm so she can't ult herself. And always try to look for a backside angle. You can, in previous situations, you could walk at targets directly because your W used to slow for 65%, which was actually enough to straight up walk towards the target. But these days, it's not that good anymore to do that because 45% is not gonna help you too much. I'm basically just kind of scouting his top side, seeing what I can clear, waiting for the Void Grubs to spawn, by the way, in case you're wondering. So we're just gonna take his Raptors here. He's most likely gonna end up doing like a Dragon here, and I'll trade for Void Grubs, and we'll be fine. I currently don't have the lane prio for this. I'm just gonna go for this and leave it. Pantheon can ult into that, so Pantheon, like, even though Galio has like priority rotation, Pantheon does have the capability to rotate, and my Caitlyn is in base, so I don't really want to go for that unfavorable situation. It is just solid to go for the Void Grub trade for it. And just be 2 dragons down, but I have the 6 Void Grubs and I have a split push champion in set, so as long as you have a solid split push champion, Void Grubs are extremely useful. Just have to make sure that I obviously play for the other dragons now, which should be no problem really. Alright, so we see that obviously his topside camps are respawning. We know he was bot lane fairly recently, so I'm gonna go ahead and take his camps. I think Kayle gets that. Kayle's dead here. That's fine. Just charm him as he gets that off, so I pull him back into me and I just wait. It's all good. Okay, now I just clear Nunu's camps for however much I can. Try to deny him because I see him mid lane right now. I think I can because he's still like playing around there. I can just take his red buff. Gonna charm it here, wait for my skill cooldowns. Get some damage out of it here. It's a bit risky, but I have to clear it quite fast to be able to get it. There it is, perfect. And we just leave over with the plant over the wall. Very good. We have all of our camps up right now. Don't really want to play too much for their Herald. I don't really care that much. My camp tempo is worth more to me than trying to play for this Herald spawn. So we're going to go for our camps in this situation. And then we'll look for that next dragon for sure. I definitely cannot be giving more dragons to the enemy team. Okay, top lane, I mean, I don't have to be here anymore. I got my 6 Void Grubs. I need to make sure that my bot lane situation gets salvaged a little bit because it's looking a little spicy at the moment. My bot lane supports 1 in 8. So, yeah, gotta have to do something about that, right? Oh my god, my hay fever is annoying. Also, another thing, by the way, more than half the people who watch my videos aren't actually subscribed. So if you are enjoying the content, a subscription would be greatly appreciated. If you are already subscribed, then the like button always helps. And yeah, that's really all that. So when it comes to ganking, always try to look for a good angle. We're just going to go for the charm on this guy. He's going to walk back into us. We stand in the bush because we have extra distance this way to make this work. I am not going to disrespect him too much in this position because we have the Nunu coming in as well. And we have a Pantheon rotation, possibly. We saw the Nunu in this vicinity right here. And Pantheon ult always needs to be respected. I have way too much gold to consider this. Soraka's just going to die. That's fine with me. That is just up to Soraka. We have a very good back. We are past level 9, so we're gonna go for the far side alteration, and we just move out of base now. What? How did that work? Oh, hay fever, can you please leave me alone? Alright, so I got my Magi's on 10 stacks, which is absolutely insane. Like, getting Magi's on 10 stacks is all you need. You do not need 25 stacks or more. Like, you don't need more than 10 stacks. 10 stacks is like the ideal thing you want because it gives you 10% movement speed, and 10% movement speed gives you positional chances again as Eve, which is the most important thing. There is nothing more important than getting a positional advantage with this champion, so that's also why Relentless Hunter is so good, and why you just want to go like Blue Smite. Everything movement speed related is something you want. So 8% here, 10% there, 18% movement speed, tier 2 boots, all of it. Like, you're going to go movement speed very quick because it allows you for that good rotation speed or good like flank potential on certain enemy champions, which is ideally what you want. It's the best thing you can have. Good. Finish this off. Pick that up. Nunu might actually walk towards Raptors right now. If I see an... there it is. I need to actually ult out. I didn't have enough damage to one-shot him in that moment, but I can also not disrespect his R slowing me for too much. And then on top of that, potentially getting CC'd by the Ornn. So slightly a little bit low on damage there to actually fully one-shot him. The moment I see the exclamation mark is the moment I know for a fact that Nunu is going to be there. I don't even have to like physically see him. If you're trying to walk up to a bush with Eve and you get the exclamation mark, you know someone's there, so you have to be very careful. It is generally a bad thing to do to walk up and face check bushes as Eve unless you are kind of know that you're going to be fine in that situation. So definitely try to avoid it as much as possible, but yeah. Alright, we have 35 seconds on Dragon, and I have 35 seconds on my ult, so it lines up pretty nicely. Not too bad. Definitely want to be there for the Dragon as strong as we can be. So that is what we're currently looking for. My team is going for a bunch of fights, though. My next thing is definitely this Dragon, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and just reset now. Buy my large roll for this, and then play for the Dragon, basically. This fight was already basically over. I couldn't reach it anymore. My ult's still on cooldown. Okay, it looks like he actually has more retaliation than I thought he would, but my ult was still on cooldown. I had quite a bit of money. I could just go now, and it should be fine. Alright, so for Eve, it's pretty scary to face check a bunch of things. That's fine. Put the charm on this guy while we run away from him real quick. And then we just focus on getting the full charm off on him. Just gonna smite that guy for a bit of a slow. Wait for our cooldown. Get the passive back. Put my charm in between my skills there and then get the slow from the Q spam. So the charm, like, I put my Q down, and while I was queuing, I charm in between, so I get the 45% slow on the next Q hit, so I can get the slow into the E engage. That way it helps me with chasing. So that's why I did it that way. I'm just gonna go for the full charm damage in this instance. That's fine. If you want to smite something with Eve, you can leave, like, at about 4k health, you can start casting your full charm, and then as you full charm, you can even empower E into potentially even ult smiting the objective that you're going for, because that will execute the objective at like 4000 HP or something. Eve is one of the only champions that can easily outsmite a Nunu when it comes to things, so I should be able to get the rest of these. Get another large ult, and then instead of walking through jungle here, you should always walk through lane with Eve. I see a lot of Eve players make the mistake of trying to walk through jungle too much. If you can walk through lane, because if you're walking through lane, gives you a guaranteed information, essentially. I'm gonna wait for the full charm on this guy and just one-shot him. It gives you guaranteed information to the point where you don't get surprised by the enemy just like waiting for you in a bush or something, you know what I mean? If you have the option of going for like nice lane plays, it's always best to go for the lane plays because you see where you're going, you see the information. Whoa. I have to actually ult to live, otherwise I'm just dead. We can go back though, because as you can see, our passive heals us for a tremendous amount due to having enough of AP to regenerate everything back. So we're just gonna be walking forward still. There we go. That is completely fine. In this situation, you want to look for the enemy jungler scams. You just killed him, so always looking for his scams is gonna be a thing to do. I'm gonna, like, the Herald use should be one of the side turrets ideally. We're gonna full charm the Kokma. Gonna go full charm because I don't have ult available to me, and it's gonna give me extra burst damage potential, and his positioning was gonna allow me to full charm him anyway. I want to wait for this, get that hit on him. I don't want to go out of my oh, okay. I don't want to go out of my invisibility there. That's a bit okay. He died. Good. Because I could just get the charm into the engage. I think we should leave. Anything else here is a bit much. I have all my camps up on a rotation, plus I can buy death cap in base right now, so I definitely should look to reset in this position. Just reset. I'm leaving. Goodbye, guys. Get that. Death cap is secured. Very good. So we have a very, very good amount of AP now. This is like the most standard way of building Eve. So realistically here, my team just needs to reset. Like, they're just like overstaying right now, which is something I'm not going to be a part of. We just back. While my team is overextending the entire time, I could just clear the camps basically and I'll be fine. So that is exactly what I'm going to be doing. We could have been playing for Baron right now, but yeah, they just want to play bot lane shenanigans. So within this duration, we're just gonna say that's fine. It's just, what is happening, man? Oh, is Nunu gonna get that guy? Nope, he is not. Right, well, I'll save this guy. The Pantheon is walking this in, so... Does he have it? He doesn't have it. Interesting. Alright, so here, we're just gonna walk in behind, put the charm on the guy. He's probably gonna run backwards, as you can see. And then we just walk straight into me and then finish him off. You always want to look for that advantageous position. So if you can always look into looping behind the target by either like running... Like, advantageous paths are like, if you're like mid lane sieging, run through bot behind this and run back run back there. You should always try to look to run through lanes because, again, secured vision. If you run through the jungle and there might be some ward in the bush here or something that could see you, you can get surprised by things. All of that's not really too ideal. It's gonna go for things. Let's see if this guy walks backwards. He flashed. Fair play. Walking through turret's not my favorite activity here, but I don't really have a choice, I don't think. That is like very rare exception where I'd actually walk through turret because the entire fight was completely engaged and I just had no choice. Build backwards to get in range, hopefully. Oh, you're a little bit fast there. You have Ghost. Yeah, I see. Fair enough. That makes sense. When you're pushing turrets, just look at your Lich Bane cooldown and try to spam your skills to get Lich Bane procs, basically. And then use another Q for the Lich Bane proc, etc. This is going to give you turret pushing capabilities. One shot to kill. And just end the game. There you go. Relatively straightforward. It was a pretty quick one, so I'll do a game number 2 and show you the same thing again, basically. The consistency and everything. Finish off the build here, I would have gone Banshees and Void Staff most likely. If I didn't need the Void Staff, I can just go like Banshees, Cosmic Drive, sell the boots for Void Staff if it comes down to it, or yeah, something like that, basically. But with that being said, I will see you guys in game number 2 then, I suppose. Alright. Time for the second game of this video. I'll be playing this one against a Master Yi here, which is a bit scary. This man went full on, like, into it. His Hail of Blades ignite, like, oh god. I will have to respect him, like, he's gonna invade me, pretty much. Because with this much of an aggressive setup on Yi, I'm kind of expecting it. So there are 2 ways I can basically clear at this point. I can just solo start Raptors and go for like the level 5 clear setup. Which on this side of the map is probably what I'm going to end up doing because it's relatively safe. From the other side of the map, I actually like starting top side and just clearing down. So I could just start blue, clear down in that situation as well. And try to avoid the invade because when you're clearing top side down, especially in lower rated games, it's very unlikely that you actually get invaded. So that is one trick you can use to potentially avoid some invade situations. In this case, a solo start Raptors will do the same for me. That makes it fairly difficult for the Yi to assume where I'm going to be. And I should be able to get my survivability in there. Now, if I'm playing purely, like, let's say I was playing against the Zac this game. A very defensive, weak early game champion that just wants to clear. I would start blue and clear towards topside because a Jace has the range advantage over a Darius. It's going to be quite the lane battle there, and if you can influence that by the Jace getting the shove and then getting a nice gank on him is quite favorable for you. However, if it comes to games like this where you have an assumption that you're going to get invaded, your own survivability takes priority over going for any type of gank. So my own survivability currently takes priority to me. To survive the early jungle the early first clear, basically, against this potentially very aggressive Yi with his Hill of Blades Ignite. Yeah, I don't want to get like level 2 invaded by that and die, so that's why I'm doing this. If you're playing this against like Kindred, Graves, you know, those champions that will try to go for any early aggression invades, then you should play for your own survivability at all cost, and ganking or going for like a lane to gank is a secondary thing. So yeah, Raptor start, however, does allow me to still potentially go for this top lane gank, albeit a bit later, because the Raptors are something I want to catch at the 4-minute respawn marker, and then that way I can do Raptors in the Krugs and potentially gank top lane at like approximately 5 minutes in game, to make it still like a top lane gank focus. So that is why Raptor start over red buff start as well, to anticipate this entire situation and try to still be favorable towards my Darius, to try to save the Darius from a ranged matchup lane. So that's why we're doing all of it. Gonna just smite the Scuttle here, and we just move mid. This camp will respawn soon. We're gonna see if we can transition gank here on this mid situation. Is he gonna ward? No, surely it's fine, right? Gonna wait, get her the full charm. Not gonna allow her to flash here, basically. That's basically what I'm doing right now. He should have him. Perfect. So we're behind the Irelia. We're not going to try to greed for the E for the kill or anything of that nature. This guy needs his help shove because he has no mana. So I'm just going to hit everything here. I don't necessarily want to CS. I just wanted to get into the turret as fast as possible so he should be able to get it now. He needs to back though. That's in the turret, so the wave is not terrible. Because I helped him push there, he had no mana. He doesn't have the wave clear potential at that point, and I just need to help him. So that's good. Yeah, don't greed for kills. No need. I could have flashed over the wall and tried to like last hit the Irelia or something, but then if she flashes over the wall in this direction, she just escapes. So that would be very dumb. Like, just hard greed mode for literally no reason. You know, she is dead there. She has nowhere to go. If I stay over the wall, it's free. So that's what we do. Now, my top lane gank opportunity is gone for that mid lane gank, obviously, but that's completely fine. Darius has the shelf right now, so we're just not gonna go anywhere. We're just clear this, we reset, and then out of base, my wolves and my Gromp will respawn. So we're just going to be playing for that now. This back, I actually have quite a nice amount of money because of the extra kill, and this clear also sets me up for a bit more money as well. So we're gonna go for the Sork's Dark Seal back, which is very good. Like, that's like the dream back, honestly. If you can get that first back, that's great. Obviously, in the first game, I had the Dark Seal and the Amp Tome, which is just a standard back with nothing much going on. So, yeah, there's that. Let's go for the Wolves, go for the Gromp. They both have respawned, as you can see. And then we might look for another mid lane gank, potentially, or just, like, Void Grubs, if potentially possible. Gonna have to see how this plays out a little bit. 14 seconds on those Void Grubs. Mostly, you might be playing for them. Just throw your skills, and then as soon as you have like this, you just wait with your W for your skills to be back, which is going to give you some clear speed here. Should be fine. We're not going to smite this thing, because if he is doing Void Grubs, we kind of need our smite, so to be at least able to get one. There's nothing else to really play for here. Like, I might be able to gank bots, but I think this guy is probably going to look for this. I will have to respect him, because I'm not level 6 yet, and he can just kill me. Okay, Scuttle is here. We're just gonna do Scuttle casually then. Nothing to stress about too much. Engage that, hit level 6, which is good. Okay, I'm gonna go mid, actually. I'm not gonna do these Void Grubs, because look at... Oh, there he is. It's gonna full... Like, I'm basically against Yi. You need to charm him while he is doing his W drain cast. I have to ult, otherwise he Qs me there. My ult, unfortunately, didn't land or connect. But now we just wait for passive healing a little bit and our W cooldowns to walk back into this play. She will most likely engage this guy, I would imagine. Wait for her to dash. Be patient. That's fine. We just wait for the full charm now, and then we finish him off. Initially, I was trying to use it to, like, use the initial, like, hit W proc to get it. I need to help this guy shove again. I want him to get... Oh, he doesn't want this last hit. Okay, fine. So initially, I was waiting for him to... He has to leave. Yeah, I should have helped him shove faster. That was my bad. I should have not tried to give him last hits, because the wave needed to be in turret, and I kind of messed that up for him. That's my bad. It was essential there that I just shoved as fast as I possibly could, and I didn't do that, which is a mistake. But yeah, right there we just wait, and initially I was looking to like W, get the slow hit so I can close the distance potentially and like get the Aurelia, but as soon as she dodged that one, I needed to wait for the full charm to be able to save my mid laner from getting killed by just charming her, obviously, and then she obviously can't retaliate from that. But yeah, the big thing there is my passive healing kicks in, so I actually have like playable HP. What, did he just... Okay, he just 2v1'd them. Gaming. So I just was able to, you know, get enough HP to make that a fightable situation on mid. And then I'm just going to be patient and like wait for a good opening, essentially. Which is what I did there. And it allowed me to kill the Aurelia. As she like kind of dashed forward, we went for it. I should be able to avoid grubs here. I think. It's a bit flippy, maybe. But I feel like it's fine. I think Master Yi is going to go bot side camps now. Gonna stand at the end of this line right here so our Q lands. And then we just focus them one by one. If I have to escape, I have ults, but I should be okay. I think Master Yi is not in the most favorable position currently. When it comes to bans, actually, Master Yi is definitely one you should consider doing. He is a pretty sketchy champion to play against. His damage reduction can be annoying. However, his damage reduction is not as bad as Briar. Briar is something I prioritize banning on Eve, because playing against that for this champion is very, very dumb. Doesn't have a control ward here, so you're walking like way too far aggressive there, Darius. Like, what are you doing here? This is just like very annoying, because now this Jace is walking all the way back, and my gank is probably not going to happen. I need him to walk, like, allow him to walk forward, basically. The ward he plays doesn't do anything. We charm now. Wait for the full charm. Get the charm on him. And we just execute him. Perfect. Did I have to ult for that one? Not necessarily, but we take kills. Dark Seal stacks, Magi stacks, etc. So first back here, I'm just going to go send the Magi straight away. And then we're going to go for the movement speed component of Lichbane first. Now, do you have to go Magi's? You don't. Like right here, you could just buy more Lichbane components. Do you have to go Magi's? Yes, you do. Like Magi's is a mandatory item on Eve. Like there's no other way about it because of the 10 stack, 10% movement speed. Like the movement speed is everything. Like you don't have to hit 25 stacks, that's fine, but the 10 stack is important. Now we saw them also walk like this, so I actually think he's doing dragon. So we're gonna go check that real quick. He is indeed doing dragon. We're just gonna go for the charm. Did I put it on dragon? I think I may have done. I did actually put it on dragon. Okay, just E smite and walk away from the E. Is he mad? I guess he's mad. He's dead now. Okay, fair enough. I wanted to put that on Yi, but I misclicked. If you see an engage like that, a situation like that, you should always focus the enemy jungler first, because that's more favorable instead of trying to flip the smite. Now, actually, in this case, I had a massive smite advantage because he only had 21 and I am believe 20, so my smite's 900 and his smite's 600, so it wouldn't have made a difference. Actually focusing the dragon is just a fine call there. Because of that, I didn't look at that beforehand. I kind of just assumed he was beneath 20 stacks as well, but he wasn't, so I guess I'm kind of chilling. At 10 Magi stacks, this is the threshold that you're dreaming about, really. Like the movement speed I currently gain from that is absolutely insane. Movement speed, positional advantage is everything. I have 5 out of 9 KP, which is huge. That is very good. Pretty much like everything apart from like that Darius double kill and 1 kill on bot lane. My game is far from over though. Like, do I have a lead on Yi? Absolutely do, but my team can give him like 2 kills and he is scary as hell, you know? Oh, my mid laner is dead. Alright, rip. Alright, at this point we're kind of like making sure we get consistent CS. We want to look for the Void Gobs in a minute, and we were going to look for Magi stacks, right? We want to clean up some free kills. So easy targets like this Jace or that Yi for me right now. Very easy targets to go for. Let's go for the dive. Go for the charm. He hooks him. He gets the engage. I hit this and he dies. You want to last hit everything you can, by the way. Like, again, you need the last hit things for your Magi's. Get those Magi stacks. Those are very, very valuable. Okay, is this guy going to be greedy? We're just going to place the ward in here. But like after 6, by the way, I go for the reset and then I use the warding trinket to my advantage. No blue trinket. Just dive this guy. Put a charm on him. Finish him off as well. Perfect. I was initially waiting for him to walk back to his jungle, but he didn't do that, so we could just go for this guy still. This is just like, these two are so far behind that it's just free Magi stacks, man. Like, they're just completely free stacks. He should have flash hooked that potentially. Oh, he did see me at the end there. We're just gonna go for the charm now. Let's hope Darius finishes him at least. There we go, perfect. Yeah, they're just free stacks, man. Like, if you are in a situation like this, I mean, if I go bolt, my chances of like getting kills on bot lane is much lower than killing this J/Monster E. They're just weak. If they're weak, you should abuse that and get your Magi stacks off them. And if you can get the Magi stacks off them, you're just gonna win it afterwards. It's like kind of just like cheesing them a little bit hard, you know, but it's very, very nice to do because of those Magi stacks. I'm actually a little bit worried about these Void Grub. Actually, I can't even do them. I'm trolling. I should not even start them. They're despawning in like 5 seconds. It's a waste of my time. I spent the time going for my Magi stacks / top ganks. Yeah, their top side of the map is not looking too good. I think their bot lane is not happy about this one. Man, I'm not doing Rift Herald, by the way. I mean, I could, but I have all of my camps up right now, which I'm just not a big fan of, to go for the Rift Herald in this position. Don't value that thing too much, and it's gonna be like up for quite a while. So instead, I'm just gonna rotate through my camps, get my level 11, get my smite upgrade, get all of that, get a recall off, be stronger, etc. Right, and then play for the Herald as my camps are respawning. Because my entire rotation is pretty much worth more than just that Rift Herald. Darius could solo it if he likes, but yeah, it's just not something I'm looking for. Not right now, at least. I can do the, like, Wolves here and like Gromp here and then just like reset. Go for Rift Herald, that would be fine. As my camps are respawning, that's decent. I might even go bot lane gank first here. That's definitely doable. Alright, so we're gonna go wait in this position. Wait to go invisible first. And we're gonna go lane gank this. Because walking through here is high likelihood of control wards that I don't want to deal with. Okay, that's not great. Wait for the full charm. I had a black shield on me there, so I have some patience or some capability to wait. Can Draven get the kill? I'm a little bit trolling there. I was trying to give my Draven the kill, which didn't really work out. I wanted him to get the stacks. So, did I waste my flash? Perhaps did. Was I a bit greedy trying to give it to Draven? Probably yes, but that's a control ward. I can't really get past this. I have too much gold to consider it too, so I'm just gonna reset here. I should have just executed the guy faster. I was able to walk at Sona the way I did because of Morgana's black shield. It prevented me from getting hit by CC, so I could just kind of walk at them and it'd be fine. Now in this position, I actually am not going to invest this 1000 gold. You might be wondering why, because simply the best item is Death Cap next and I can't buy a large world. So instead of buying it now or buying like components of another item now, I'm just going to hold my money for the large world and go for that item. It's going to go for this. He does actually do dragon there. Okay, fair play. I'm just going to go Rift Herald here. We go for Aurelia. She flashes. Does she walk out to the right here? She walks up. We go invisible. She walks towards the turret. She does. Let's see if she recalls in an awkward spot. She doesn't. She just walks straight back to mid lane. Very interesting. Is Balsari going to go for his camps? Surely, right? He has red buff, so his bot side camps are just clear. We're going to wait around the corner here. Wait for him to show his face. Yeah, that's a bit scary, I'm not going to lie. No! Please! My ult's in 2 seconds, I beg! Oh my god. Thank you, Darius. That was actually very good timing. That was such good timing. The damage reduction from Master Yi prevented me from getting him and then also missed my initial Q because he dodged the Q by hitting the camp, right? So I missed my most important damage thresholds in that situation. And yeah, then the damage reduction kicked in, and I wasn't able to finish him until after his damage reduction ended. I made sure to get the Lich Bane proc after it ended to get the damage in there. But that is very scary. That probably should have killed me, but barely my ult came back in time and Darius hooked the Aurelia to avoid the damage there. But my... that one's spicy. That one's very spicy. I was gonna do the Rift Herald here. Should be fine. I mean, me and Darius are extremely strong. I did quite a lot, quite a number to them on top side. Draven is now also winning bot. Good. We have an entire jungle rotation up, so we're gonna go for that instead of recall here. I don't really have anything to, like, I mean, I can back for 1 large hold, but I can just do the clear and back for 2 large holds, right? Plus, right now on the map, you have to realize that there's nothing spawning. There's nothing up. The dragon's gonna be 2 minutes, so I need to basically just chill. Wait for the dragon. What is this? Get my camp out of here, my guy. Can't be slowed, obviously. Master yield, but fair enough. Okay. Very interesting. Might be able to, like, cheese the Aurelia here. There she is. Got my charm now. Just gonna wait for the full charm to happen. I was considering ulting that, but I don't think I have to. If she got 1 more Q off, I would have ulted. But that wasn't necessary. Like, if you don't have to ult for a play, try not to ult for a play. Like, as long as you're on 25 Magi stacks, basically. I'm not gonna need the kills anymore, essentially. Like, getting kills is, like, nice and all, but I don't need them anymore as much as I would need them if I was on, like, 12 Magi stacks, for example. So, in that situation, I'm just gonna see if my Hwei can get the kill with, like, by not ulting her, essentially. If obviously it was risk of one of us dying, which would have been close with 1 more dash from her, I would have just ulted to execute, but that was unnecessary, so we're just gonna hold it. Losing HP on Eve is very irrelevant as well, because you have the capability of healing everything back from your passive if you have enough ability power. So I wasn't worried about, like, getting to 10% HP. I could just go invisible and heal back, and it's completely fine. I probably shouldn't have queued the last one. He actually got exhausted, so my Q went through without him killing it. Very interesting. Okay. I think Master Yi is kind of done for, honestly. Like, he is not having a good time. We're just gonna herald the side turret. This mid turret's already dead, so you're basically always heralding a side turret. And these side turrets are worth 700 gold each, so I want to go for this turret for sure. Obviously, the 700 gold we're getting here is split between my laners. But let's see if she controls the Rift Herald well. It's always a scary moment when your laners pick up the Rift. What is that? Yeah, you are a monster, mate. What a waste, man. What an absolute waste. Morgana's dead too. I don't care. I'm just gonna leave him, let him die. 38 seconds on the dragon, so we want to make sure we reset in time for that, but I also don't want to give them the mini objective of their own red buff right now, because this gives red buff to an entire team, and I obviously cannot let that happen. So we're gonna clear this. How did you survive that? Okay, Morgana. How? What? I mean, this game is pretty much over, surely, but yeah. We abuse their topside weakness to farm our Magi stacks up all the way. Even though, like, I have 10 kills, these kills are not worth that much because we farmed the 006. Like, we got an early game advantage and we farmed them for the Magi stacks, but, like, the kills are worth 100 gold. However, the Magi stacks are worth more, right? So I do actually still get good value out of it because of that. Alright, so smite tactics for Eve. We're about 4,000 HP in. Gonna wait for it, wait for the passive on E, and then with that you E smite, and then with that combination there as well, you can ult with it. So your ult will do an extra 1600 damage essentially when you burst it low. So you can burst smite like that from about 4.5k HP, I think, with the AP I currently have. Flanking from behind, look for a good angle, as you can see. Very good angles is what you want to look for. Instead of walking directly this way, I walked here to get the flank. As Evelynn, it's never your job to go into a team fight, to engage team fights head on. You always look for a good angle. You always look for those opportunities. It's never your job to go to face forward, like face first into a fight. You're always the sneaky assassin. Look for an angle type deal. So that's what I did there on Aurelia. Instead of walking face first into her, I walk behind and finish her off. I'm assuming the enemy team is just AFK, honestly. Because at this point, like, it's just game over already, right? Like, this is just one of those. Okay, looks like they're retaliating a little bit, so I'm just gonna reset. So we can just play Baron now, basically, and kind of chill. So build-wise here, I mean, Banshees is still, like, solid, honestly, so I'll probably just go for Banshees here. They are full AD. The reason, like, you're not really building Banshees on Eve for the magic resist, by the way. Like, I could go Zonias, but Zonias is honestly worse than Banshees because the spell shield from Banshees is a lot more valuable. Did he just lose all of his HP for no reason? The spell shield is great. Like, the spell shield allows me not to get, like, stunned by Aurelia, not to get W'd by Jhin for a large amount of CC duration. Not to get Sona ulted, or any of that nature. Just, can you engage? Like, hello? Can you just hit the Baron, my boy? Like, what are you doing? Does he expect me to tank the Baron as Eve, or what? So that's why the spell shield is more valuable. It allows you to get that engage, get that flank engage in a lot more easily. And that's, even though the magic resist might not be as useful, it still gives good AP, and it's, the spell shield is everything. So we go full charm here, and QE smite. Obviously, you don't have to ult in this position, but like, you want to smite like that from about 2.6k, 2.7k, without the empowered version of this. It's good damage. Okay, we're gonna look for any targets we can get in like good positions. This guy is kind of out of position, so I guess I go for Jhin. Maybe. Nope. Trap slowed me. Couldn't do it. My team is just shoving mid. I guess that's fine. He is just giving up pushing. I mean, the enemy team is giving up, to be fair, but yeah. We abused it. We farmed it. We're good. So Banshee's here, Cosmic Drive here, and I can sell boots for Void Staff if I require boots at that, or require Void Staff at that point. But yeah, that is it for Eve. I hope you guys have enjoyed both of these games. If you did, make sure to hit the like button below, and I will see you guys in the end game stats. Alright, so for the end game stats for game number 1 here, I ended up doing 19.6k damage, which is a respectable amount. Lower than Seth, lower than Caitlyn. As Eve, if your teammates are doing well, you're not expected to do the most damage for the most part, because you're an assassin. You have, like, you can have a lot of team fight damage if your flank is going to be good for it. If you can, like, land a nice ER on a team, that's going to be a lot of damage. But champions, ADCs, scaling it like ADCs, etc., will have generally more damage to champions than you. Usually, at least. Again, if they're doing well. Like, if they're inting, obviously, your damage can go through the roof. If you're carrying the game by yourself, your damage is going to skyrocket, all of that. But assuming a, like, relatively okay team state for your team, your damage should not be the highest most of the time because you're an assassin. And true damage at 1100. We have objective damage at 42.7k. Healing done at 18k. Damage taken at 25.1. Self-mitigated another 14k. Gold earned at 12.1, which is the most here. For the runes, Electrocute dealt 1300 damage. Sudden Impact another 780. Eyeball Collection for the extra AP, and then Relentless for the movement speed, 11%. This is, again, the most valuable thing. That's also why you go Magi, 10% movement speed. Movement speed, everything, you know. Just very good. Absolute Focus, Gathering Storm for the AP from it as well for the scaling. And then, like, a general build would be like a Banshees and a Cosmic Drive, or a Void Staff and a Cosmic Drive, and then sell the boots for something, because with Relentless, Cosmic Drive, Lich Bane, Magi's, you have plenty of movement speed to actually allow you to sell boots to get that extra AP as the game scales up, which would be fine. Yeah. Then for the sets for game number 2, this was a bit more of a stomp, but, you know, 16.2k damage done. Again, not more than Darius, fair play. True damage at 1000. We have objective damage at 51k. Healing done at 17.8. Damage taken at 24.3. Self-mitigated damage at 13.8, sorry. Gold earned at 12k, on par with my Darius. I gave him all the ganks in the world, basically, and just absolutely hammered down on that top lane situation, getting my Magi stacks out of it, everything. It was just free stacks, so we play for free stacks, right? Damage done here, Electrocuted, only about 1000 damage here. It's not the most interesting game for this, to be fair. Sudden Impact for another 800 damage, Eyeball Collection, extra AP. Didn't even get my 5th stack of Relentless Hunter this game. I don't know who I missed, to be probably the Jhin, perhaps. We have Absolute Focus, Gathering Storm for the extra AP value there. Again here, Banshees, even though they were a full AD comp, I don't like Zonias on Eve, because Zonias locks you into a bad position, whereas Banshees allows you to get a kill due to the spell shield. Like, if they have Jhin W, Sona R in this instance, right? If any of those hit me as I walk up to them to try to assassinate them, I will then get snared and die. If I Zonias that shouldn't really change the outcome too much, because then I'd Zonias and die, because usually as Eve you're looking for a flank assassination, and you're just going to be in a much worse position in stasis for a while, and it's just not going to be great. So even though the armor from it might be better, the active from it is worse. The spell shield is better to allow me to make the engage happen to get the one shot on the target, so I would be wasting the magic resist, but I still get the AP, I'd still get the spell shield, that's why I would still go for it. If it ends up being useful, right? Like, if it doesn't end up being useful, there are other items you can build. Predominantly a Cosmic Drive for damage and movement speed. Again, very solid option there. But that's generally what I'm looking at. Do they have the annoying things that can really hurt you as like a single skill shot, like a Lux Q, a Jin W, like Morgana binding, that type of stuff? That's where Banshees comes in very nicely, to be able to secure certain flanks, certain plays to make that happen. And yeah, that's really it for Eve. If you have any questions, make sure to leave those below. But with that being said, that was it for this video. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another one. Bye.